That's Don Saladino stuffing his face with no napkin on his lap, and I'm Zack Zeigler. And this is episode 15 of M&F Reps.
How are you today? Your hair looks great.
My hair looks great? Oh, you're just saying that.
I am.
You're just saying that.
I'm a little underdressed. I apologize. I came from work.
With your new Drive shirt, new colors available for purchase. Can you buy those shirts anywhere?
You could. You can contact reception@driveclubs.com.
How much are they?
I don't even know.
You don't even know? Free?
$25-$30 probably. I don't know. I'm weird about because I've never technically charged anyone for a shirt. Everyone I like hook shirt. Like Zach would come in, I'd hand you a shirt.
Oh yeah, I wear the gray one. I would wear the red one.
Do you have a gray one?
I do. I would wear the red one more than the gray one.
I'll get you a red one. I'm gonna get you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna get you guys. I've got a new order. I've got new inventory coming in probably in the next month, and I'll bring you guys, you and Pierce, a shirt. So definitely.
Nice. How are the Hellboy? Did you get to see the Hellboy reviews? It looks like a.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't seen Hellboy yet. I want to see that. And I want to see Shazam because I trained Zach Levi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's great. And a buddy of mine's actually one of my head coach went and saw it. And he said it was awesome. He loved it. Hellboy I didn't see yet.
Oh, I hope you'd say that it's great working with him because I can't picture you saying, "Man, working with him."
No, I just wouldn't say anything. No, I just wouldn't say anything. I would just leave it alone. Like, yeah, no, I worked with him. Good guy. That's fine.
I worked with him, and that's it.
That's it.
No more.
What'd you think about him? Rich Squire picture looks good over there. But Hellboy, you know what I was shocked about because the Hellboy, because I just put my program, the Hellboy program, I'm actually put on my DonSaladino.com site. And
not the. Really old.
No. And basically, people have been contacting me. And they're like, "Well, he's wearing a bodysuit. Why? Well, how does this make sense? You fool!" Like people are like making.
Yeah, we got a couple of those too.
And I'm like, we never said Dave got ripped. We never said what we did. This is the program. The program got him really strong.
Right.
Like he went from having back pain and not being able to pick up a 24-kilo kettlebell or doing it very like mindfully, if that makes sense. Is that such a word? Mindfully? Yeah. And
Ben Pekulski, be more mindful, man.
Be more mindful.
Mindful, bro.
Mindful. To pulling 400 pounds off the floor and doing it, it was probably 90% lift. So I was proud because when he put the suit on, he felt like that character. And for me, that's what it was really about. It's not always about like looking like an Abercrombie model, nor the part just did not. That's not what the part was. If we started doing that, I would have been fired.
The dude handed you a picture of a shot putter.
Shot putter. And then 2 weeks in, they said he's losing too much weight. I said he lost 1 pound. They said his body's changing a lot for the suit.
Yeah.
So I said, when's the last time you had ice cream? He's like, a week. I said, go get some ice cream tonight. I'm like, listen, just my thing is this. Even if we're trying to fatten someone up for a role, which food quality's got to be spot on. I never want the food quality to be crappy. I never want someone to be consuming, like, if they're going to have ice cream, have like a good organic ice cream without all these chemicals and all this crap that's going to cause inflammation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to have chicken, have it like a free-range chicken. Like, if you're going to have vegetables, get organic vegetables. If you're going to have pasta, make sure the pasta is not some crappy blend of like white flour and all this junk. Like, get some type of a more heartier, healthier, nutrient-based food. I want you, even if you're trying to put body fat on, which I've trained people for, you got to have nutritious foods.
Are there specific rules you give somebody when they want to work with you and they have to, for food quality? Do you have like a set of, is it like a template you give them?
Yeah, I just, it really depends on the individual. If they're not a type A like type A is, I can be as detailed as we want, but if it's someone who's like, I'm like, listen, just the least amount of ingredients. Like, these are the foods we want to go with. Let's start here. Let's start the first week. Let's start with some basic foods I want you to consume. And then after a week, I'm like, how is it? It was a little boring. I'm like, all right, let's implement this now. And, if they're trying to pack some size on, I might have them consume, brown rice pasta or a pasta made out of garbanzo bean. I'm just making this up. Just something that's a little bit, a little bit more nutritious, and it's not gonna, mess with their digestion or their brain function or whatever. But nutritious foods. I mean, it's really, really pretty simple.
Are you still eating clean?
Yeah.
You were eating clean for, what are you eating clean for?
I've been eating clean. I've been eating clean for 20 years. So,
No, but I mean, you said like last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, you'd been on a very strict diet or maybe meal plan.
You know what it was? The diet stayed the same. I just eliminated for 5 or 6 weeks. I eliminated like any cheat meal, or I eliminated any, like if I was to consume alcohol in 5 weeks, maybe once or twice, I eliminated.
So you would just drink the mouthwash, and that would be it.
That was it.
Well, sometimes that's
tasty,
the way you gotta do it. Yeah,
the minty blue.
And that your breath was terrific in that week.
I appreciate that.
I knew it from this far.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Are you a blue minty mouthwash guy, or are you a green spearmint? Was it blue mint or?
I prefer the blue mint, but I'm not picky.
I would do either.
Actually,
or.
you know what? Recently, and this is breaking news. I'm using the purple one with no alcohol.
Something to be said about
It's
that.
The worst. Why do you even tell people? Who cares?
No. See, there's something to be said about that. I mean, those are the little things that you can control. You're laughing. Start cutting back on that shit.
I didn't even buy it. My wife bought it.
Oh yeah, but put it this way: you start with the mouthwash. What about the deodorant? So a lot of us out there use deodorants with like toxic metals in it.
I do.
And in every
the more
day,
metal, the better.
Yeah, more metal, the better. And but you start cutting back on these little things.
I did the natural deodorant for a while, and I stunk. My pits were disgusting.
They have some good
rancid.
ones out there. They have some good ones out there.
Okay, but I mean, I tried. I did it, and it didn't work.
You chose a bad one.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I chose all 10 of them that I tried. Because I used to work.
You didn't try 10 of them.
I did too. Because I used to work. Oh, I didn't.
Exactly 10.
More than 10, most likely. Because I worked at a place where I was sent these types of products to test, and I did.
And you never had one that worked?
I stunk. My
no,
wife.
I find they work in different
environments. I would
environments.
ram her head directly into the pits. And aside from the turn on, she would tell me every time how bad they smell. Yeah, she is. She loves it. I mean, look at this disgusting, sweaty man that she's married to. But no, for real, I have tried a handful, and I did find that it didn't really work well. And so when I was sent a bunch of Old Spice products, free plug, I tried those, and
they worked amazing.
No, I don't know. I just kept using them because I'll use them until they run out, and then I'll probably use whatever's left. I'm lazy.
But save that. You know what I would do? I would save that stuff for when you're like throwing a suit on, or when you're really kind of confined and restricted. And
I can count on one hand the amount of times I wore a suit last year.
Well, I mean, like if I'm going to the gym, like I'll use a aluminum-free deodorant.
But you suit up.
I suit up.
See that?
My wedding gown.
Let me put 3 minutes on the clock, and if we go 3 minutes, cool. If not, screw it. But I want to talk about spotters.
That's a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
What do you think about spotters? Do you ask for a spotter in the gym?
No, because I don't go heavy usually anymore. Back when I did, yes, I would, because I don't like to crush myself underweight, you know? But at the same time, I also didn't want to be hypocritical because I don't... I'm an asshole in the sense that if I see somebody needs a spotter, I am going to avoid eye contact at all costs. I don't want to be bothered right now in the gym because I go to a gym that I don't necessarily like to go to, and I don't have a lot of time because I go during the day most of the time. So that's a terrible excuse. I'm just a jerk. How's that? I don't want to.
No, but I get it. I mean, you go to the gym and you get in a zone, and this is kind of like your church hour, and you want to be left alone, and it's a time to be able to be mindful.
Yes.
And to focus on yourself and get a little selfish. And I understand. I mean, the only time I ever get bothered, I never get bothered. No, that's a lie. The only time I would ever get bothered if someone asked me for a spot is if I was doing some type of work capacity program where I had like time sets and it was actually interrupting with my workout. But if I'm deadlifting or squatting or benching, when I usually like to take a little bit more time, and someone comes over and I'm about to go and they're like, "Can you give me a spot?" I'd be like, fine. Like it's probably going to do me like I'm a little antsy as it is, and I normally kind of jump into the set a little bit too quick, so it's probably helping me. But yeah, no, I don't get.
But that being said, I've never turned anybody down either.
Yeah,
so
no.
I always say yes because I feel guilty. But I mean,
well, also if they got hurt, you'd feel pretty. I don't know if you'd feel bad or not.
I'd laugh. No, I would. I'd feel bad, and then I would just be like, "Why didn't you ask me for a spot, you idiot?" No, I would feel bad, but I also see. You know, I've also been the victim of a lot of shitty spotters, a lot of mistakes when I have asked for them.
Right.
A lot of people who just grab the bar and just rip it up, and it's like...
it's terrible. Yeah, people don't know how to spot. But I also ask, why are they asking? So why is someone asking me for a spot?
Yeah.
Are they asking for a spot because it's too heavy? Are they asking me for a spot because they're trying to grind out an extra couple of reps? I argue that... for what they're training for, do they need the spot? Now, listen, if it's a newbie and they're trying to challenge themselves and they're like, listen, this is the heaviest ever gone. I'm a little nervous. I just want you there to just got great. Awesome. Or if something goes wrong, can you pull this bar off me? Great, no problem. But I think when people get into their heads that they want a spot because they want to continually force reps,
right.
That I question depending on what their goal is. If they're a bodybuilder and they're trying to torch the muscle, great. But I don't know, like there's so many variables that should determine whether someone's training to failure or not. So I think a spot, yes, if someone for safety purposes, if they want to squeeze out a rep or two, if they're trying to go for a PR, they're trying to challenge themselves, or if they just feel insecure about it, then yeah, absolutely. But if someone's always relying on a spot to help move the weight, I think that's bad. I think they need to also understand that, scale back a little bit and control the weight on your own.
I think you're right. We do need to actually add a little more time here.
Yeah,
so
no, keep going.
I think I also used it when I had my labrum repaired and my biceps repaired on the same side.
Well, that's danger. Well, that's more of a confidence factor.
Anytime I came back, and it didn't matter what I was doing, I asked for a spot because I wanted to just have somebody there just in case something gave out, in case something bad happened. And, and that was it. It was just a safety factor, and it made me feel better and more. It did add confidence. And most of the time, I think people, they do throw that in there when they do ask. It's like, hey, just in case, I should be able to get it. And that does kind of, justify what they're doing. But it's also like, if somebody's sitting there loading on shit tons of plates and it's just me, it's like, you gotta recruit some other people.
Yeah, and you also have to understand who you're asking.
Yeah.
Like, I would trust you to ask you for a spot.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen people call on spots and the guy,
like Pee-wee, yeah.
No, it's not even Pee-wee. Guys are grabbing bars with one hand.
Yeah,
they're not necessarily guiding. Or like, I saw recently, a buddy of mine sent me a video of himself squatting, and the guy spotting him from the side, and he's literally coming out of the hole, and the guy's standing there like about to assist him on the right side of the bar, and I'm going, what are you doing? And I messaged my friend. I go, your squat looks good,
right,
but the trainer you're working with is a moron. And he was like, why? I'm like, he's spotting you from the right side.
Yeah.
You can't, like, if you have two spotters, I would even say, like, if you're powerlifting and you're getting under a ton of load, yes, get someone behind you, get two people to the side, and it's for the sole purpose to get that weight up if you're not coming up. But you're not forcing reps when you're doing a powerlifting contest. But the spot from one side is idiotic. And if you're asking someone for a spot and they don't understand or control the tension, like, then what's the point in even forcing that rep unless it's for safety purposes?
And I learned how to spot by doing it wrong for somebody else,
right?
When I was younger, because I didn't know. No one taught me. And
when someone yell at you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
What did he say? He was like, don't you ever do that?
No, he was just like, thanks, but that was terrible. And I was like, wow, what did I do? And he explained, like, just keep me moving. Like, I don't want you, don't just
take 5 pounds off.
Yeah.
Take 2.5 pounds off.
Yeah, he's like, just
don't take 30 pounds off.
He's like, if you see me struggle, don't let me fail and then pull the whole thing up. He's like, just keep me moving up, and then, then I'll call it.
Right.
That's
I always say the key is not to allow the weight to move back down south. Like, don't fall back into that eccentric.
I was letting it just like.
Help. And
like,
some of the guys like one hand,
yeah.
and you're like, come on, man.
I was like, you can do it. And he was like, no, I can't.
No, I'm done. Once the weight starts going in that reverse direction, you are done.
Yeah. But that was a good lesson. I mean, it was embarrassing to learn that way, but it was also good to learn that way.
I have as much of a problem with that as if someone starts talking to you during a set. Like, if I'm sitting there and I'm pulling weight or I'm squatting or I'm benching and it's serious and they come over and they start talking, I've yelled at people before.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, because it can be dangerous if you lose focus.
But my friends used to try to make me laugh.
Yeah.
But we were younger then.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And
now I'm all,
Yeah, now I'm like,
don't you ever do that again.
Shaking my fist at them. No. Yeah, but back then I probably would laugh.
It's a good topic, though. It really is.
Thank you. That wasn't mine. That was actually
Pierce
and Daniel.
Pierce is pretty smart. Daniel's pretty smart, too. Welcome.
What about me?
You're okay.
Thanks a lot, Don.
I like the topic, though, and I think people should not frivolously ask for a spot. Yeah. I think frivolously asking for a spot can actually be almost as harmful. It really can, because if you start pulling the weight or you start spotting unevenly, you can cause some serious injury. If someone's squatting and you pick the bar up from the right side and you've got some weight on your back, I can assure you it's not going to be pretty. Like, something bad's going to happen. You're better off just, as you go down, letting the weight come off your back than having someone spot from one side.
Which I've seen numerous times people do, because it's, as you said, it's probably a lot safer and easier to do that than just to.
One of my coaches the other day, we had a video of it. We were joking around because when he's like, listen, if I hit failure, Like, just get your ass out of the way. I don't want help up. Like, I'm better off just letting it go. He's a very explosive guy. And we put together a little video series of, like, him deadlifting and, like, almost knocking me over because he jumped back and he ran into me, or, like, dropping the bar. And I'm, like, jumping out of the way of the bar. And we made a total joke of it. But, you know, with me and him, it's fun.
How, are you, like, a super stressed out guy?
No. Are you?
Yeah.
Yes. I am. You were, but the good thing about you, I think I'm not saying it's a good thing to be stressed, but the good thing about you is that you really take ownership over your job and what you do, and you take a lot of pride in how things come out. You're not sitting here with the magazine like, oh, I'm just going to put out some piece of shit. Like, you bring your work home with you.
Well,
and I think that says a lot about someone.
I mean, I guess the thing is, it's not just one thing. It's like there's a lot of moving parts to it. There's the magazine component. There's also a lot of things we're trying to overhaul here, like especially on the digital end, and that takes a lot of time, especially on the video end. I mean, we just upstarted this, and that was because we had some new people come on board. We were able to create the space, which used to be my office.
Actually, this place does look good.
And
I remember day one when we were taping the.
Yeah, well, we were in another room with a screen behind us, and it looked like we were in a junk room. And I looked at it, and my eyeballs vomited.
Yeah.
And
it was terrible,
so I mean, there's more to it. So there's probably better ways for me to handle it than to go home and cry myself to sleep. No, and to scream into pillows. But yeah, I mean, in terms of stress management, I know that there are things like when we were talking to Taro, the mushroom man. Those I have started implementing. Those.
How you liking them?
Yeah, I like them.
I like them a lot.
Yeah, I do. I want to start to use the ones to sleep better because I don't sleep very well at all, ever.
The Rishi.
Yeah.
He said the Rishi. I've been doing the Rishi at night. I've been doing the Chaga in the morning, and I'll mix in the other two when I feel like it.
See, that's good that you said that because I didn't really know how to say it right, so I would have just danced around how to say it.
Rishi.
But yeah, that's I've started to take the stack.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's working or not. Hopefully, just in my head, I'm telling it is. But I don't sleep very well. And that's always been an issue for me.
Right.
And, having a newborn doesn't help that.
No.
But, so that's something that I'm working on right now. But I don't know, what do you tell your clients when, they tell you that they're having issues with stress? Because I know that you factor that into how you train them.
I think it's the first. I mean, it's the first thing that we should. The first couple things we should be speaking to a client about is, I think, in my opinion, is sleep and its digestion. Are you regular? Are you? How do you feel like you're processing your foods? And is it moving through?
How detailed does that discussion get?
It's detailed. It's actually a little, it's one of those things where it could be uncomfortable if you weren't comfortable with talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
are you like?
No, I'm not I'm not sitting there talking about stool size, but
are you like? Is
but
it like
yes,
a snake?
I've got into
is
it.
Is it more serpent-like?
Yeah,
is it kind of
I mean,
like
it's something that
bat?
you really have to get into, but you want to know. I never want to make the person feel comfortable, so it really depends on who you're dealing with.
Right.
It's something where you feel like there's a real issue, then I'll get my nutritionist involved, and they'll start having that.
And they'll have that conversation about serpents and baseball bats.
Is it mushy or is it, is it like it's disgusting?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to at least come to my level of like
but sleep and recovery. But
Yeah.
sleep and recovery, it really is. It's everything. And actually, I can't mention any names, but a client I'm working with recently, he's been somewhat adamant in the gym, and
it's a guy.
That's all I'm telling you. His body for a period of time was feeling worse and worse, and he was always kind of leaning back to an exercise or a list of exercises to be a savior. And it really just came down to the amount of stress in his life, and he became such a breather, up here, and always having that like anxiety, that paranoia, always being shortness of breath. And the diaphragm is one of the largest muscles in the body, and it's something that we need to expand, and we need those ribs to move. And if you look at your baby and how your baby breathes, it's perfect. And as we get anxiety and we get tension, we start breathing up here. So when we start losing the ability to really control this area down here, shit starts going wrong.
Yeah.
And the body starts hurting, and there's aches, and the body starts tightening up. And listen, I've talked about this, during one of our reps episode, how I've gone away on trips to where I've gone golfing and just didn't do any fitness, and I've come back more flexible, and my body's been more looser. And that's why people are like, oh God, I'm relaxed. I just feel loose. Yes, because you're giving your opportunity and your nervous system just a opportunity to release the parking brake. You're driving around with a parking brake on all day. Now we're releasing that parking brake. Everything else is just going to flow and it's going to move much easier. And I think without getting scientific, that's the easiest way to describe it. And that's why some of these fitness experts now or physical therapists or chiropractors are really discussing, they're really talking about the importance of breathing. And you'll have other people say, well, I breathe every day. And I'm like, yes, you do breathe every day, but
I've used that joke numerous times.
Exactly. Are you breathing correctly?
It's never funny.
It's never funny. Are you breathing correctly? And I think as people start implementing some correct breathing into their lifestyle for a few minutes a day, they start realizing that, wow, the body's feeling a little better. I'm feeling like I'm moving a little bit better. My recovery's a little bit better. And guess what? I am improving. And improving could mean through body composition. Improving could be through mobility. Improving could mean from a prehab or a rehabilitation standpoint. Your nutrition could be improving because now that you're breathing, your digestion's improving. Your regularity's improving, your sleep's improving. So I think we're starting to get there.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to really see out there that, yes, breathing is really important the right way. And you're going to start seeing it. It's unavoidable. You're going to start seeing bodybuilders and more athletes, and they're doing it. I just don't feel like it's as mainstream as it's going to be in a few years.
But isn't it interesting that it's something free that you can do if you work on it, that can actually have a huge impact. Yet I feel like a lot of us, myself included, sometimes,
it's not sexy.
Right, sometimes look for something that we have to spend money on, or something that's like that you can add to your regimen somehow.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you go to the gym, if the first thing I was telling you to do is to lay down and put your legs up and start breathing into your ribs and expanding your belly and ribs for 3 minutes, I mean, that doesn't seem like the most exciting thing. And a lot of times you're getting in, you're like, I want to get in, I want to get pumped up, and I want to get out. I'm trying to get my body sympathetic. I'm trying to get my body, get that adrenaline going. And, you know, there's even been certain people, well, why are you going to get your body parasympathetic? Why are you trying to calm your body down before you start training? Because it's going to help get everything into a good position. And it's going to allow for you to be successful. You're removing the brake before you're going to race the car around the track. And yes, well, when do I throw it in? Before or after? You can throw it in before, you can throw it after, you can throw it before bed, which is going to help you sleep. You can throw it in first thing in the morning. That's the beauty of it. You can really throw it in a lot, but we're just, again, it's not sexy.
Okay. What about, let's see, what about therapy? You ever go to a therapist?
Mental therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually used to, I used to see one. Man, it might have been 8 to 10 years ago. Some of the best money I've ever spent.
Yeah.
But I remember at the time I was, now I'm 42, so God, it's probably early. Yeah,
probably
about 30, 32 years old.
Day over 35.
It's just my birthday.
Today?
No, Monday.
Shit, I forgot.
Missed it.
Sorry.
The only guy who missed it. The only human being who missed it. Piece of shit.
Sorry, man.
It's okay, man. I still love you, man. Did you go with you ever go to a therapist?
Yeah, I go every
love
week.
it.
Every week.
I love it. But I stopped going because my guy retired.
I've gone through many of them. Wherever I've lived, I find therapists to go to.
I think it's great.
Yeah, but I'm not the type of person that, like, the stereotypical, like, go lie on a couch and, like,
dump all your problems like it's confession.
No,
right?
I go there to seek answers to things as to why I react certain ways, or to why why I either feel a certain way about something, why I'm reacting a certain way about something, or why I feel like there's some inertia in me to why, or why I can be really intense about some things, but then I feel I don't accomplish enough in other areas. Like that stuff will irk me it'll make me insane. So I go there trying to figure more out about me, to become more optimized, really, to become better, more mindful. And, so something recently that was discussed between me and my therapist was to actually create a plan that takes better care of myself, like it's in terms of stress. So because she could see that I will drive myself insane because I will nitpick so much shit when it comes to all of the different compartments that we're trying to do here at Muscle and Fitness, specifically get a lot of initiatives off the ground. So when you talk about breathing, I've been told by numerous people and some therapists that I'm a shallow breather, meaning like I will get so zoned. Yeah. I'll get so zoned into what I'm doing that like I don't really breathe. And it affects creativity. It affects my clarity.
Yeah.
And I know this, and I still can get so wrapped up that I don't remember to breathe. So I need to carve out time during the day to breathe. I took TM classes, Transcendental Meditation classes. I took them when I was living in Los Angeles. And even that has fallen by the wayside. So that's something that I need to revisit. My wife has taken them as well, and we both decided that it was difficult when our daughter Olive was born. She's wears the pants in the family now, or the diapers, I guess. But now I thank you. We'll be here for the next hour, and I want to, I need to revisit that because it's not horse shit. That stuff can really help get you on track to become better at everything, including better at lifting, including better at just training and feeling better and just becoming
life.
Yeah, life.
I went to. It was funny. I remember. God, it was years ago. I went to a Tony Robbins. I went to his UPW. I think it was called his Unleash the Power Within conference. 3-4 days. Maybe.
How much did that cost?
I don't even remember. So 3-4 days, maybe 5 days. I don't
remember. $5,000?
No, I don't think it was that much. No. But I went, and it was exhausting. I mean, one day we got into a conference room at 8 a.m. We didn't leave until 2 a.m. the next morning. And it was those type of hours. But I do remember something. He literally brainwashes you into this positive thinking, into this realm, into this really happy place to where when I got back home, first off, everyone ended up getting sick because you were just so worn down and sleep deprived. But I remember for several weeks after, I felt like nothing can go wrong.
Yeah.
I felt like everything was, even like the other day, like I came, like my wife's like, what are you doing on your birthday? Are you working? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to work. Like the kids are at school. I love work. I'm going to go in. And like everyone's like, happy birthday. And you feel like you're in a good mood and you're just kind of moving around. You're like, all right, it's a half day today. Nice day. Work out, couple clients, get a bunch of work done. It was so productive because everything was just so positive that day. Nothing was really, there wasn't any bad thoughts. There wasn't any negativity going through your head. And I remember my wife asking me, was like, how was your day? I was like, it was amazing. Like, it sounded funny, but it was like, no, it wasn't because I was getting birthday wishes or, no, it was more because my head was in such a good spot that when I was approaching things, there was no negativity. My creativity was great. Stuff on my weekly checklist, like I have a list that I call shit. Like basically call it shit. Like it's just things that are weighing on me.
Yeah.
And it's in the back of my book. And anytime something's weighing on me or giving me stress, I write it down. That was per a good buddy of mine, who's a big private equity guy. And I wrote it down. And I remember that day. I think I had like 15 things on that list, and I think I cleared off like 6 or 7 of them. The things I just didn't think I was going to get done, or it was taking time, and I was just able to get it done. And it's incredible what the mind can do, and people don't give it enough credit. Like you said, creativity.
Do you think that the Tony Robbins brainwashing session was worth it?
Oh, no, absolutely. No, I had more takeaways from it. There was, I mean, some people are like, well, isn't he a snake oil salesman? I'm like, there's nothing negative about that. Like I was huge into it. I loved it. It was an amazing experience.
So you enjoyed the snake oil?
I enjoyed the snake oil.
No.
And it worked, and it's helped. And it opened my eyes to certain things about it. And so say what you want. I mean, I had a really good response to it. And anyone I've never spoken to anyone who's gone to it who
Me neither. This is the first time I've ever spoken to somebody who's gone to it. I've only seen it on TV.
No, I was saying I never spoke to anyone who's gone to it who hasn't had a good response.
Oh, I've never spoken to anyone who's gone to it. So
really?
This is the first time.
My brother went. I went. I have a bunch of friends that went. They were all.
I'm just curious to how much it cost. And what do you eat there? Like, do you have to pack a lunch?
Technically, you're supposed to. Or
they give you like gruel.
Yeah, what I ended up doing was I would
Tony
eat
Robbins
breakfast
sandwich.
breakfast and dinner. Like they give you like honestly like a hour breaks. You just run out and get food, and you bring bars. You pack crap that you normally wouldn't eat. It didn't even matter. It's like those few days. Thank God I didn't have a prep going on because you're just trying to hold on for dear life and just get through it. I mean, every 10 minutes he's having you stand up and like scream and dance, and people are like crying in the crowd, and you're like, it's really emotional. It's crazy.
There was something that I did in high school. It was called Search, and they sent you away for a weekend, and they basically kept you up the entire time, and they would keep you up so you would start to tell people all of like your problems and all of your secrets and all that stuff. I think I was the only person that didn't get up and share stuff. I just couldn't do it. I just felt like
not for everyone.
No. Yeah, I don't know. They couldn't pull it out of me.
I think it's important. I think it's important to be able to voice things that are in your head, insecurities, to someone.
Yeah.
I think it's like when you keep this shit all bunched in, I feel like it's a recipe for disaster. Someone ends up cracking.
For sure.
It's really good to have a sounding board.
But I can do that. But what I didn't want to do was air dirty laundry about my family or my friend. Like they were really trying to pull shit out of you, which is like, no, I mean, I was very comfortable with myself and my insecurities and who I was. I still am. And the thing is, it's like, I don't mind like, telling people those, because it's like, that's just part of me. And if that bothers you, like, tough shit.
Yeah.
And if it's fine. Like, and that, I like those conversations, because those to me are more meaningful than somebody talking to me about like the Mets or something. No offense, I know you like I like the Mets too, but it's like, I don't, you know what I mean? If somebody starts talking about sports, that's when I start looking for the door or heading for Z Hills. Yeah,
interesting.
I don't.
So you want a little more substance when you're having a conversation. You want
Yeah.
people who are going to really kind of let it out there. And
Sometimes I just don't want anybody to talk to me at all. And
that's
so,
fair also. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's you, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that's who you are. And,
Right.
you know, sometimes I have to be aware that I'm going into a situation, and if my head's in a bad spot, I've lately been trying to, you know, just kind of recognize that and say, listen, you're going in here right now. You're already kind of in a bad place. Like, it's your goal right now to do this, or it's your goal to just take a deep breath and handle it and just relax. And, you know, I know it sounds like bullshit, but I think just being mindful, we're using that word again, I think just being mindful of what's going on is kind of step one.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we got to do. And some people don't care.
Right.
Some people can go out and, you know.
I'm not allowed to say that, because you get angry with me when I say I don't care.
No, some people don't care. You know, no, it's just, I just question whether you do care or not.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't care. I'm like, all right, well, do you or don't you? Because how you're saying it right now, it makes it sound like you're annoyed.
Oh, so you think? Oh, okay. So you don't know whether to believe me or not. So you think I have like a good poker face or a bad poker face?
I think you have bad poker.
Really? See, but yeah, you don't know if I was just saying that.
So Zach, relax.
Or not.
I'm just joking.
See? Oh,
I'm only kidding.
That's interesting.
That was a joke.
That is interesting. I wanted to throw this out there, because this is something I see on a lot of websites, including our own. You ever see those clickbaity articles about like how to pick up women at the gym?
I don't even read it. I don't even know.
I don't know if I've ever read one of them.
I want to see, who are the guys writing those articles?
Also, first of all,
Do they get like a ton of tail? Like, do they know? Like, are they like seriously? Are these guys writing those articles? Like, you should know. You have guys at the magazine writing them.
Well,
Bring 'em in.
they're freelance writers writing them. I don't know.
So I want to see these guys' track record. Like, do they go into bars and like land women all the time? Do they have like, are they totally confident? Do they have like just nice swag to them?
Do you want me to go on a limb? I'm going to say no.
No.
Yeah, no. Because what I think what goes on.
It's like trying to give Hall of Fame hitting advice from someone who's never played a day of
Right.
baseball in their life.
And the thing is, it's like, I mean, that's, first of all, I'm somebody who grows on you like fungus. Like, I think it takes a minute for me to warm up. Like, you know, like
I've always liked you from since day one, Zach.
Oh, you say that to all the guys. So I don't just walk in and like knock it out of the park with a lot of times. Like I kind of, it's a slow burn. So I'm not gonna walk in and like get on like a treadmill or an elliptical like and come up with some hilariously wildly funny line
Witty.
and win you over. So it's like, I don't even know. Like, do people actually try to do that shit? Have you noticed that? First of all, have you ever done that? Have you ever tried that before you're married? Obviously, but I mean, I don't know. Back in your playing days when you were like,
I never tried.
Throwing the old pill around.
I never threw lines.
No, I don't either. I don't even know what to say.
I don't even know. Like, people ask me like, "What's the best line you ever heard?" I'm like, I have no idea. I can't even tell you what the best line I've ever heard was. I just don't even. Just be natural, man.
You were like, "I'm Don. You seen these?" Like,
not really.
You're like, you seen these hairs? No.
Hairs? You see my pink banana hammocks that I'm wearing?
Do I keep kicking you?
Keep kicking me, dude.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I'm very underdressed today. I'm in like this very casual.
Well, you're not wearing pants.
I'm not wearing underwear either.
So you never tried that. You never tried to. No, me neither.
No. Even when I met my wife, it was like, hey, it was like no, it was. No, she was at a wedding. I was at a wedding, and we just started BSing. It was just like a conversation.
You're not going to believe this, but no women have ever hit on me at the gym either.
No woman has ever hit on you at the gym?
No.
Shit.
No. Are you see? I don't know if you're lying or not.
Believe
Believe me.
Maybe it's because you're giving that fuck off vibe in the gym where you don't want. Maybe they saw you rejecting a spot and they were like, "Oh, he's mean."
I think it's because
He
I
doesn't
walk
spot
around like
people.
this.
He doesn't
like,
spot people, so I'm not going to go talk to him.
I think that's probably it. Because I think usually they ask me for a spot, and I say, "Get the fuck out!" No,
You know what I find with women? I try to keep it a straight face and ignore that one, but I get. You know what I do find with women is like, when I'm in the gym, I do not have an agenda to pick up a woman.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll walk by someone in the gym and we'll make eye contact and I'll just smile, like whatever. There's very friendly, no big deal. And sometimes they'll be like, almost like you're trying to pick them up.
But then but then you notice the eye contact, and then like as you're walking away, are you like
no, I don't do any flexible. No, but there's no intention on my end. Like I'm just
right.
But I think a lot of times their guard is up, or like the other day, my workout partner and I, we were at Bev Francis Powerhouse, and this woman's working out, and she's on this plate loaded lat pull down that Tone and I wanted to get. So we went over there. I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry. How many more sets do you have? And she looks at me and she goes, quite a few. And Tone and I were like. And we go over and we start setting up. And as we're setting up, by the time we finish setting up, she's off the machine already. Oh. And my buddy Tone looks at me and goes, quite a few. We just walk around the gym like the rest of the session. Like, Tony, you want more weight? Quite a few. It's like, I think it's the only words that we said to each other. But like, relax, like chill out, like get off your horse. We're not hitting on you. We don't care. We really don't care, as you would say. We're in there. My priority going into a gym is to train. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm a married guy and I'm not interested. So, if I'm smiling.
Do you want me to make that announcement? I'll go in there and tell them.
I want you to. It's just it gets annoying. It's like,
but yeah, I think
women talk about certain guys that they have egos, and I'm like, a woman does that. That's pretty egotistical.
I think something you said is right on. I've never gone to the gym wanting to find
quite a
partner, or wanting to find somebody to hook up with. I've always had other agenda is to train.
Going to the gym to work out.
Yeah, I'm training. I have a plan to get in and get out. I'm not somebody who goes to like a Gold's Venice or a Bev's and hangs out all day. I have shit to do.
Oh no, dude, I don't even want to. I'm not even there to like some drive.
Yeah.
My club in the beginning when we opened up was a very male dominant club because you had golf in there. You've seen the fitness floor. You got a great fitness floor, but it was way heavier with men. Yeah. Men were coming in more male golfers, I think, in the city, and obviously it's a fast-growing sport with women now. But 14 years ago it was a little bit different. So I think 70% of the club was male. Okay.
Yeah.
And some guys would come in
Any
early
sword
on.
fights? No
sword fights.
Okay.
And in the beginning, some guys would come in and be like, "Yeah, but there's no women in the club," and I'm like, "Dude, do you want to improve, or are you here to look at women?" Like, well, I want both. I'm like, no, you really don't. Because if you're coming to a gym to improve and get better, and your driving factor is women, then I think you got to reassess your priorities, and you got to sit there and analyze why you haven't been improving in the first place.
Yeah,
you go into the gym. I'm there to work. I'm focusing nothing on the work the task I have at hand and my team that I'm training with, and I'm in there. We're trying to have a good time and move around and push each other, but not at one point am I sitting there. Is become an eye candy thing.
How hot were the guys?
Unbelievable.
That's what I'm thinking. So I mean, it's like best that. Full. Well, then what are they complaining about?
With the slingshot bikini.
Man, sounds like they had it made.
A great steamer.
But I think going back to that woman on the lat pull down, I think it opens up
quite a few
about gym etiquette.
I hope she sees this. Quite a few.
I'm sure she will. I think we actually went from 4 to 6 to 8
amazing.
To maybe 8.5.
I'm sorry, how many more sets do you have? Quite a few.
Half person watched last time. That was really exciting for us.
How about? I have like 5.
See, there he goes.
I have 5 sets left.
There he goes.
Quite a few. The truck is going downhill, and we lost its brake.
Just rammed right through. Just.
We're not listening to you, Zach. It doesn't matter. All right, let's go.
I think it opens it up to gym etiquette.
Gym etiquette.
Yeah. I think somebody comes up and asks you how long you're going to be on something. You don't got to be
quite a few
a dick about it. Like, yeah, I think is it quite a few, or is it 1, or is it 5 minutes?
Or how about this?
Is it,
I don't care if you're doing German volume training and you have 10 sets.
That's it, yeah.
So, hey, man, listen, I've got 10 sets and I'm running on a clock of 60 seconds. I'm going to say, man, good luck with that. Like, you know what? Like, enjoy. Like, people are like, quite a few.
What are some other dick moves? Okay, let's get rid of the obvious. Oh, my
God, I was dealing with it today.
Let's get rid of some obvious ones. Like, obviously not wiping stuff down, spitting your gum into the water fountain, pissing on the floor of the shower. We all know you've done it, Don.
Pissing on the urinal. No, pissing in. No, I don't do that. Pissing in front of the urinals, like when you're sitting there, just piss all over the urinals. And guys are walking barefooted. Like that's disgusting.
Oh, I noticed.
One of my biggest pet peeves, which doesn't sound disgusting, but not cleaning up your weights.
Yeah.
Like a guy today gets off the bench press, he leaves 135 on, and he just leaves the plate, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
And then he hustles into the bathroom and pisses right in front of the urinal.
Yeah, he pisses right on the floor, and he leaves his dirty laundry. I had a member who's no longer with us right now. The other day, he snapped on one of the coaches because one of the coaches is teaching a class. Yeah. They opened a window. It was cold. This was probably a couple months ago, and the guy flipped out on one of the trainers and yelled at him. And he thought he was an intern. He's like, "You're just an intern anyway. You don't even matter." And he literally insulted him. And I sat the guy down. I'm like, "One of my coaches. This is part of my family." And he's like, "Well, I'm assuming you want me to apologize to him." I'm like, "Listen, man, you can do whatever you want." I'm like, "I'm letting you know right now I don't tolerate that behavior in here. And you don't treat people like that. And if you want to apologize, it's probably the right thing to do." And he never apologized. So, I think these are character things. I don't think this is like, you say gym etiquette. I think this is life etiquette. Like, do you clean up after yourself? Clean up your weights. Do you piss on the floor at home and leave it there? Do you yell at coaches or people who are trying to do their job, or do you sit there and vent and yell at a front desk that they're just there trying to do their job and put a smile on their face and do their best? Are you gonna? This is just life 101. If you're not gonna do those sort of things, then you're an ass.
You've never pissed in the shower at any gym?
Of course I have.
All right, just making sure.
What kind of question is that?
I definitely have not.
You're lying.
Yeah, I know. That time I was.
That was good. Boom!
But I think there's a couple others here.
Lots more.
I think there's a couple others, but I think it's important to kind of air some of these out because some people, I think you're right, they don't know how to differentiate the stuff that they wouldn't do at home to the stuff that they wouldn't do at a gym. And I think the weights is obviously the biggest one because it's super annoying and it's just basic. It's just basic.
There's something I do that people can consider, well, that's not good gym etiquette. Like I train barefoot. Now, this is another great. Now, someone could say, "Well, wait a second, that's disgusting in your bare feet." And I'm like, first off, I shower twice a day. Secondly, I sanitize that club every day. I mean, we're literally running organic carpet cleaner on the turf. We're wiping and squeegeeing the floor down. If you've developed a tolerance to barefoot training, it's something I recommend if you are healthy and you have built that resiliency to it. So it's something I enjoy doing. Am I going to show up to Powerhouse Gym and train barefoot? The answer is no.
Right.
But I own this gym. I know how clean it is. And if you see the owner training with bare feet, then you probably know he's never had a foot fungus, then you're probably in pretty good shape to do so.
Do you think it's because you have 7 toes that they get all weirded out?
No, I don't actually. I have 11. You got it wrong. I have an extra toe on my right foot.
Right, so, I think, no, but I didn't think of it that way. But yeah, I think that it's also something that I think would just cause people to either go up and ask you like what the benefit is or why you're doing that,
right?
More or less than a sanitary thing,
right?
But
I have one for you.
Yeah.
What about women? We got to go back to
sure.
We got to go back to this because I've heard I've seen women get mad at guys for checking them out in the gym. Okay. And they're wearing very risque outfits. So like a woman is in there a few weeks ago and she's wearing this one piece. She's got a very nice figure, glutes, big chest. She's hanging out of everything.
She does a lot of bench press?
Okay. She's moving around the floor and some guy looked up at her and she got pissed off at him. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you don't have to dress like that then. Like, why are you like, if you're going to go in there and just show some skin and you're going to be like, is that good or is that bad? Am I taking the wrong approach there? Is it, yes, women, you have right to wear whatever you want to wear. A guy can go in there wearing a crop top, no sleeves. Is that right or is that wrong?
I guess it's tricky because I think that's something you have to witness, right? If the person is leering,
if he's sitting there with the
if he's leering at her, then that's one thing. I mean, but it's like you don't know. Like maybe this person is just looking for an argument. Maybe this person has had issues in the past. So you don't really know what's going on there.
Quite a few.
Yeah. So you don't really know. But at the same time, I guess maybe I'm kind of hypersensitive to that stuff. Like, I mean, maybe it's like I'm just tunnel vision sometimes.
Oh, I go the other way on it. I never want to be, I don't want to be called out on that.
I'm the same way. So like I can see that, but I could also see the guy being like, especially if it was something innocent, being like, oh man, like.
Oh, I was laughing. I was at a 24-hour fitness in Las Vegas. And this woman's up on a step mill. And I turn around and I look at this guy and he's holding his camera phone right behind her and he's like this.
Oh.
And she just turned around and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he was like, but I was dying because I couldn't believe this idiot was actually doing that. But I loved her response. I'm like, good for you. Like,
Yeah. And was he like, "Oh, I'm just doing creepy stuff"? And
he was
she's
like, "Oh, nothing,
cool, thanks, just making sure."
He just kind of walked off. He knew he was busted, but I was dying. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! I can't believe you pulled that.
Like, how could you do that? I wouldn't even. I don't know. I wouldn't have it in me to do that, and then getting caught would be humiliating.
This is human being 101. This is what I call human being 101. This is just like who you are and your upbringing and the type of person you are and manners and these are specific things. Like you could see how someone handles himself in the gym, and it's not, quite a few.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that's not. I'm never gonna leave that.
No,
alone.
I know. You really? Did you ever see her again?
No.
Do you see the same people there over and over, or no?
I mean, a couple of people I do, and they're actually really pleasant. What I like about the gym in Long Island is that everyone just stays to themselves and trains, and they work hard, and it's not social hour. That's the one thing. Even at Drive when I'm training, it's like we're there to train. We're not there to start. Like my staff knows not really to bother me unless it's an emergency or if they need something quick. And
so with the emergence of a lot of boutique gyms, and I mean, I don't know if that's, I don't know where I'm going to go with this, so maybe stay with me or help guide me here.
Sure.
So do you think that that's actually helped or hindered focus in the sense, like, so you go to a box gym and a lot of people kind of meander, right?
Yeah.
So you go to these boutique gyms and you can either go to somebody who might run you through a class that could run you down and hurt you, or help you find something that's going to help you, find something you like. So it's also more expensive. So I'm not sure, like there's like the private clubs like yours. There's a lot of boutique gyms that are specialized. Like you have, some of the OCR type gyms. You have some of the more...
I think of boutique gyms is like Barry's Boot Camp
Sure.
or SLT. Like I think of or like Rumble.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I've seen those classes, and the word I use is fluffy, because there is such a cluster fuck of, it's like this big mishmash of movements. And listen, I'm not denying that running is bad, or I'm sorry, I'm not saying that running is bad, or I'm not saying that push-ups are bad. I just think what happens is you bring most of the people coming in there are deconditioned to begin with, and you're putting them through this whole mishmash, this whole mess. We call it, at my gym, we call it the entertainment effect. So it's like, turn up the heat, run them around, allow them to sweat, turn music on, throw sexy women into a room, and you got a good formula.
Yeah.
But is it necessarily good? Is it necessarily what they need to improve in general? Now, you can get in better shape.
Right.
But are you in there more for the entertainment? Are you in there more for the social? Are you in there more to look like that you're boxing and just breaking a sweat and staring at the women right next to you, or vice versa? Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of more the impression that I get, because a lot of these boutiques are continually trying to fill these classrooms with models and beautiful people to create this aura, to create this culture in there that, oh my God, like I went for this workout and the women, I've never in my life been like, God, I went for this workout, the women were incredible. It's just something I've never said.
Yeah.
When I used to go to Miami or used to go to Vegas and be out at the pool and was single, yes, we would come home and be like, the women were absolutely beautiful. It was absolutely incredible. It was just
I would be like, man, the sun was hot.
The sun was just blistering.
Yeah, I needed more sunscreen.
My banana hammocks were just riding up way too. The tan line for my banana hammocks.
I should have worn my singlet.
The pole I brought to the pool was just a little too sharp for me.
I guess it's because, I mean, and maybe it's I don't know if it's outside of New York City. I haven't looked at the stats in a while, but like you see a lot of them pop up around here, and having, you've been stationed in the same place for a long time. So you've seen them come and go. You've seen the names change. You've seen other types of gyms pop up, and then you've seen them go away. So I don't know how and when or where some of these, like where this trend goes from here. How this ends up.
I think it's going to become even more diluted. I think people are still like, I see a lot of finance guys who are saying, oh, yeah, I worked finance for 20 years and I'm going to open 3 Pilates studios, and they start pumping this stuff up. And if they start doing well, good for them. And you know what? They're not all bad. Like some of these boutiques are really changing people's lives and creating a good culture and a good community and, yada, yada, yada. But I do believe it's a different type of individual who's going to that than, that might be going and doing, a program like us and it's fine. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I just think that you have to understand that the outcome is probably going to be significantly different.
Well, I know that there's definitely some places in the city that are specifically targeting celebrities or higher tier clientele.
I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
First off, because I could, I really shouldn't be saying this, but I probably would go on record to say that I probably host more celebrities in my club than anyone else. I don't even like to advertise it because it's not something. I don't put a flag outside of my gym.
Maybe you should.
No, I don't want to.
No, I don't.
No, because it's not like, what am I doing? Am I sitting there? Am I sitting there to host celebrities and models, or am I sitting there to help change lives and improve people's well-being?
Oh, it's the second. The jury's out.
It's the second. But I'm not sitting there trying to push that, because I feel like a lot of these gyms that are pushing that, they're just, it's very fluffy.
So
I
let
love
me
that
get
word, fluffy.
I just want to make sure I got this right. So your gym is all about celebrity and not at all about function. But that's also why you've been able to stay in business so long,
Right.
because you put quality first.
Right.
And that
It just happens I have celebrities at my place.
yeah,
That's all I'm
they
telling you.
happen to be there, which is also because it's low key. They keep showing up.
They feel
Whereas
comfortable.
a lot of other places want the celebrities or hot people to show up because they think it's going to keep attracting people. But how do you also keep attracting that many people without just throwing people free memberships or having free classes?
My business is built on word of mouth.
Not you. I meant that, like, with them. Like there's I see.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, so you invite we get a lot of invites here when something opens, or there's some, and sometimes, I used to go more than I do now. I don't really have the time to, but I stopped going because I thought I just felt like I wasn't getting as much out of it than I wanted to, because I was going more for the physical aspect of it than the networking. And I can go to plenty of other networking events. So yeah, I'm like, man, like, what are they trying to get out of this? They're trying to get some exposure, trying to get some write-ups.
Right.
But who are they ultimately trying to get to come here all the time? And how is this really working?
I don't think they really care.
Yeah.
I think when you deal with boutiques, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
I think when you walk in a Rumble and you see 60 stations, and 30 of them are, your resistance training station, like, your little box with your little dumbbells and bands and all that stuff, and you have 30 bags. I think it's clear when you're pumping 60 people into a class with one coach, it's clearly a volume play. Mm-hmm. That's all you want. You just want to be able to get as many people in to drop that $35 or $40 for the 45 minutes to an hour. That's 100%. Now, yes, what are they doing with the women? Do I know for a fact that a lot of these spots, not mentioning names, are giving free memberships, starting ambassador programs, allowing models to come in for free, and in exchange they have to put up social media? Absolutely. Early on in my business, when social media became big, I tried it and it just didn't really work for me. It was a direction that in the beginning I think I had 15 to 20 ambassadors to help promote the club and draw some type of a buzz. It just didn't really work for me. It's not my clientele. No one really cared. And I had more a couple of the models in there were like making a mess in the locker rooms, and they didn't really appreciate it. And finally, I just kind of discontinued the program.
Peeing on the floor in front of the
peeing
urinal.
on the floor in front of the urinals, and
But you're part of some ambassador programs, no?
No.
No?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I'm not. I'm not an ambassador for anything. I'm a actual partner of some companies.
Oh.
So like Halo, I'm a partner. I'm the chief marketing officer. I'm sorry, chief wellness officer. I get a salary. I have equity in the company, like stuff like that. These are products I believe in. But like I get ambassador deals offered to me probably weekly, and I just won't take them because.
So give an example of what they offer you and like what it would entail.
Well, some ambassador deals, it's like someone calling you up and saying, we want you to promote our product, and in exchange, we're going to give you a commission off of every unit sold. And I won't do it. Like, that's not what I do. I'm not there to work off commission. I'm not there to become a salesperson. Now, if there's a brand that I believe in and I love, and I'm like, wait, this is something I would take and promote or give to my kids, or I have complete ownership over it, meaning
like Frosted Flakes.
I love Frosted Flakes. Just the right amount.
Wow, I just threw that out there.
Just the right amount. Just the right amount of sweetness.
I was just thinking
crunch.
Tony the Tiger. He's so
actually. I haven't had Frosted Flakes in ages. You just got me in the mood for cereal. Yeah. So ambassador programs I wouldn't go and do, but there are a lot of people out there that are signing deals with brands, and the deals are for them to do a certain amount of Instagram stories, a certain amount of Instagram posts, to sit there and to push product out there, and these influencers will get a commission off of, that's when they're normally putting coupons in there, fine. But like Epicured, I'm a part owner in Halo. I'm a part owner in On Running. I actually work for. I'm a salaried employee from On Running, and then the rest is Drive and my apps and that stuff. So yeah, but these are all things that I like. The only sneakers I wear on, I love them. So it's easy for me to push and promote, and I'll do some speaking. I'll do some social media for them. But this is stuff that I believe in. It's stuff that I enjoy.
By the way, I don't need any shoes, so thanks for offering.
Oh, I got to get you a shirt first. A red one, size medium.
Well, that was a nice swerve there. But that's cool. I'll just buy them.
Yeah.
I'll just spend the $150 on them.
Are they that much money?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I don't know. I get them for free.
Yeah.
I'm an ambassador.
Yeah. As the ambassador would.
As an ambassador would. All right, everyone. I'm Don Saladino. This is Zack Zeigler, and that was our episode of Muscle and Fitness Reps. The next few weeks, we're going to start bringing on some guests. So we have some surprises for you guys, okay? And this is by popular demand because people have been requesting, and we've been fulfilling those requests. So stay tuned. If you got any questions, you can reach out to us at
reps@muscleandfitness.com. You can go to Don's Instagram at Don Saladino.
Thank you. You can go to Zach's Instagram at Zraz.
Yes.
Zraz.
I rarely update it.
Which he rarely updates. And he has a nice picture of himself emulating this in his banana hammock. So if you guys have any questions, you can DM us or reps at muscleandfitness.com.
And these guests are going to be really awesome. Yeah. They're top secret because we know who they are.
Big time. So until next time. Thanks, guys.